Hello everyone, Samuel Purdy back here again. So now that I've showed you guys some of the cool critters in my room, myself and Taylor are going to take you guys into the field and show you how to look for some awesome animals in your backyard or in your local park. So I've just gently peeled back this log here and it's revealed a beautiful carabid beetle, type of ground beetle, predatory beetle, which means they eat other insects. There's another one here too, different species by the looks of things. These are all beautiful wee beetles that you can find, probably even in your backyards.
Cool, so one of the cool things we've actually found under this log is a planarian, or a flatworm. Now these guys might look like slugs, but unlike slugs which mostly eat plants, planarians are carnivorous. So they're actually out there hunting things. So they might eat things like slugs, and snails, worms, and actually one of our native planarians in New Zealand is a major agricultural pest over in the UK because it eats all their worms. Absolutely fascinating wee creature. When you're out looking for invertebrates, one of the things that you really want to search for are things like rotting logs. You want to find nice complex habitats. You know, it's like when you're looking for people, the best place to look is a city because there's more places for people to be. The same when you're looking for invertebrates. If you find lots of things like trees and logs, that's where you're going to find the most invertebrates because those are like the bug cities. Now the interesting thing about logs is there aren't as many as there need to be, because most of the time when trees fall over in people's gardens or even in other places, they chop them up for firewood or get rid of them because they're ugly. But really what we want is nice messy gardens, nice messy forests with lots of logs on the ground, because those are the best places for certain sort of invertebrates to live, those nice moist dark places under those logs.
I've just gently rolled this log back and I found something super special. I'm going to show you guys. This is a velvet worm, an undescribed species of Peripetoides, and they're commonly referred to as Peripatus here in New Zealand. Now, Peripatus, they actually use these two oral papilla. They're kind of like glue guns, right? And they shoot glue out at their prey. It's pretty crazy. This means that once again, we got to show a bit of respect to the animal because we don't really want it wasting its precious glue on us. So if you're going to move the animal because you've found one, be super careful with it, and I mean super careful. They're very fragile animals. They don't have a super strong exoskeleton or outer layer like a lot of things have, like beetles, and that means that they only come out when it's sort of quite moist and quite humid usually. So it's best that we either refrain from touching it completely or we're extremely careful with it. They're pretty cool animals, and honestly their ancestors have been on the planet for hundreds of millions of years, so it's pretty cool that we have these guys here in New Zealand. So by looking for these animals, we're actually effectively invading their home. That means that we've got to exercise a bit of respect. So once you've lifted up a log or a stone to look for something, it's really important that you put it back in the same position you found it in, and you're careful when doing so. So if I were to put this log back down on the beetle might be okay, but it also might get a wee bit squished or displaced, and it might not like that. So it's important that you either move the beetle out of the way onto the ground next to it and put the log down, let it crawl back in on its own devices, or you really gently roll the log back down like I'm going to show you how to do. So I know logs can be heavy sometimes, that's why it's good to have a parent helping you, and just gently roll it back into place. Try not to squish anything. Job done. No beetles were harmed in the making of this. So now, I'm going to show you how to look for stick insects. Plants like this one here, Podocarpus tortara. These are actually really good for stick insects, particularly one group, the prickly stick insects. I quite often find them munching away on tortara. But also plants like manuka and kanuka, I'll show you some of those plants shortly. Stick insects love those, and even, I recommend you guys check your mum's roses, and some blackberry if you have it too, because a lot of our native stick insects actually love all of those plants. So there's no special search method for stick insects. You basically just look for a stick that actually isn't a stick, and that's quite hard. But there's actually one in the frame here now that I've spotted, so wonder if any of you guys can spot that. Spoiler alert, it's here. See that beautiful green stick insect? They can also be brown as well. This is a prickly stick insect, a species of Acanthoxyla, and as you can see it's covered in prickles. Now once again we've got to be respectful of it. They have these tiny wee claws on the end of their feet that help them hold on to tree branches and leaves. So, if you're going to hold one of these guys, or gals should I say, because they're all females, if you're going to hold one, you want to make sure that you don't accidentally rip a leg off. Because if you put a hand out like this, and then you put another hand out, and then you tug on it, you might actually pull its leg off. They have fragile legs, and in some species, they'll actually drop their legs as a sort of escape maneuver, which I think is quite cool. But yeah, there you go, a prickly stick insect. Once you're done with the animal, it's important you gently pop it back, so I'm just going to place it on the tuatara. It's going to crawl right on, and just like that, nice and camouflaged, nice and at home.
Super exciting. So what I found here is a sheet web spider, or usually from the genus Cambridgea. Now these are awesome spiders, and they're given their name because their webs up in the trees kind of look like a little bit like sheets that someone's hung up there. Now these spiders are generally nocturnal and generally arboreal, so that means they come out at night and live up in trees. And that's why they've got such long legs, for kind of climbing around trees. But also, if you're walking around in the night, you know how you put your hands out in front of you so you don't walk into the walls? It's the same with creatures that live at the night time. They often have longer legs, so as they're wandering through the night, if they bump into something with their legs, they can run away before that thing gets to their body. What an amazing cool little spider. I hope you guys have really enjoyed coming out with me and Sam to find some native invertebrates. Now, it's your turn. Go outside in your own backyards, even in your back gardens. Lift some stuff up, have a look, see if you can find any invertebrates there. If you do find some stuff, let us know. Show us some pictures, we'd love to see them. Now, if you have any questions about things that you've seen today, or just generally things about Orokonui or our invertebrates, ask us in the comments and we'll see what we can do to answer them. Alright, see you guys next time. Stay safe. Ka kite.